This is a true story about a young boy from Pakistan named Ahmad. The story is heartbreaking yet very important to hear. So let's go back to the beginning and see how it all started. Tucked among the mountains of Swat lies a tiny village where the internet is cheap and dreams are expensive. On the rooftop of a local madrasa, a 12-year-old student named Ahmad spent what would become the last day of his life. His small body bore clear marks of violence, yet his eyes held only one question: "Sir, we made just one mistake. Why did we deserve such punishment?" That question exploded across Pakistan, turning the incident into the nation's top trending story, the Swat Madrasa abuse case. The following morning, Ahmad's mother left the house before sunrise. She knew something was wrong. Villagers had gathered outside their home, their faces grim, their voices hushed. They told her to come quickly, to come at once. But when she arrived at the scene, all they said was, "Sorry, we couldn't protect your son." So why? Why couldn't they protect him? Why did they allow such a thing to happen? And what exactly happened to him? His mother rushed to the local hospital, only to be told Ahmad had been dead on arrival. His tiny body bore the marks of torture. There were deep gashes on his back, confirming reports of the village elders who claimed he had been beaten with a heavy wooden stick. But there was more. An injury on his chest suggested something far worse. It was the imprint of a hand that had gripped his heart and squeezed the life out of him. A murder most foul. But if Ahmad had been murdered, who had done it and why? And as his mother stood by his body, two possibilities flickered in her mind, both too horrifying to contemplate. The first, and she shuddered at the thought, was her husband, a man known for his violent temper. Or perhaps it was the local mullah. He often punished the children with brutal beatings for minor infractions, like forgetting verses from the Quran. Which one was the truth? His mother, an illiterate farmhand, could not begin to fathom that a teacher from a respected madrasa could commit such an atrocity. She saw them as pious men committed to the service of God. But this was no ordinary case of domestic violence. As word spread, the entire village turned somber. People stopped praying in the streets, the call of the muezzin drowned in shock. The tranquil neighborhood transformed into a crime scene. Forensics teams swarmed the area. Every rock, every blade of grass scrutinized. Officials combed through the details, eager to unravel the enigma of the murdered child. But amidst the chaos, a question echoed in the minds of many. What had driven Ahmad's killer to such brutality? The answer lay hidden in the depths of the madrasa, a place where faith and fanaticism intertwined in a sinister dance. Inside its hallowed halls, secrets waited to be unearthed. Inside the madrasa, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Scholars and students alike trembled as authorities delved deeper into the case. Whispers replaced recitations and fear became a constant companion. The weight of Ahmad's untimely demise hung heavy in the air. Everyone wondered, how could such a tragedy occur within the confines of a sacred institution? As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered disturbing tales of mistreatment. Students spoke of a culture of fear and violence, of harsh punishments for minor mistakes. The very walls of the madrasa seemed to be holding their breath, bearing silent witness to the horrors that unfolded within. The shocking revelation emerged. The prime suspect, the very person entrusted with shaping young minds, the teacher, was himself unlettered. He had never attended school. How then had he landed a job as a teacher? The answer was as simple as it was disheartening. Connections. In a country where qualifications meant little and favors meant everything, he had secured the position without possessing the necessary credentials. The community reeled in shock. How could they have been so blind? How could they have trusted their children to someone so ill-equipped? The enormity of the situation began to sink in. This was not just a case of ignorance, it was a glaring example of societal neglect. Meanwhile, the news of Ahmad's murder sent shockwaves across the nation. From Karachi to Islamabad, people took to the streets, their anger palpable. Protesters carried signs that read, "Stop the violence against children and justice for Ahmad," each voice echoing the collective cry for change. The peaceful demonstrations turned violent. Many protesters were arrested, but their voices were not silenced. As days turned into weeks, the pressure mounted. Calls for justice grew louder, demanding accountability and reform. The Prime Minister himself was drawn into the controversy. He promised swift action, vowing to bring the perpetrators to justice. But promises were cheap and time was running out. The public wanted results, not words. In the midst of the turmoil, Ahmad's mother remained steadfast. Despite her own grief, she became the face of the movement, a symbol of resilience and determination. Her agony resonated with mothers across the country. They stood in solidarity, united in their demand for a safer future for their children. Her resolve knew no bounds. She wanted answers. As the nation grappled with the implications of this heinous crime, a sense of urgency gripped the populace. Parents demanded a thorough investigation into every madrasa in the country. Teachers and scholars were called to account, and calls for reform echoed in every household. Ahmad's murder had become a catalyst for change. And then came the verdict. The Prime Minister addressed the nation. His words carried the weight of a new dawn. He announced the formation of a special task force, one that would delve deep into the practices of madrasas across the nation. The goal was clear: to ensure that such horrors never repeated themselves. Hope flickered in the eyes of many. Could this be the turning point they had all been waiting for? Would Ahmad's sacrifice pave the way for a better, safer education system for generations to come? In the aftermath of the verdict, a wave of relief washed over the country. People poured onto the streets, their joy echoing in the chants of "change is here." But amidst the celebrations, a sobering thought prevailed. Ahmad might have departed, but his spirit lived on in the hearts of millions. His name became synonymous with the fight for reform, a symbol of the struggle against archaic practices. As the sun set over Pakistan that day, it cast long shadows of change. Ahmad's death may have been a tragedy, but it had become the impetus for a transformation. The path ahead was long and arduous, but with each step, Pakistan moved closer to a brighter, safer future. A future where every child could learn under the shade of progress and enlightenment. In the quiet of the night, as the world slept, Ahmad's story kept watch. His legacy became a beacon, guiding Pakistan towards a new dawn. The road to reform was paved with his sacrifice, and the nation vowed to honor his memory by walking that path with unwavering determination. 1 year after the tragic incident, Ahmad's story continues to resonate. His death sparked a nationwide conversation about child rights and the need for reform in religious institutions. Awareness campaigns in his memory are now part of the school curriculum, ensuring that his story lives on to educate and inspire. Ahmad might be gone, but his spirit lives on in the classrooms of Pakistan, reminding every child and every teacher of the importance of compassion and understanding. The impact of Ahmad's story doesn't end at Pakistan's borders. It has become a global reminder of the challenges faced by countless children in similar situations. International organizations have taken notice, working alongside Pakistani authorities to improve child welfare and educational standards. Ahmad's story has transcended geography, becoming a rallying cry for children's rights everywhere. As we reflect on Ahmad's legacy, we are reminded of the power of one child's story to affect change. His short life may have been cut short, but the impact he has had on Pakistani society is immeasurable. Ahmad might be gone, but his story compels us to be better, to do better. To ensure that every child grows up in a world that values their life, their rights, and their future. In the tapestry of life, Ahmad's thread was woven with both joy and sorrow. While his presence brought sunshine into the lives of those who knew him, his absence left a void that words cannot express. Yet in the grand scheme of things, his story has become a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Ahmad's journey reminds us that even in the darkest of times, hope can flicker. And with determination, that flicker can grow into a roaring flame, illuminating the path towards a brighter future. So as we pay tribute to Ahmad, let us also celebrate the spirit of change that he embodies, for in his memory, Pakistan has taken a significant stride towards reform, proving that one child's dream can indeed change the course of history.